Hello traders, good evening, Vladimir here, and this is the weekly market review for the week starting at 12th of February 2017. Last week, as expected, we saw the Pacific pairs being most active. Most of the opportunities came exactly there, not only there, but exactly there as we wanted. And some of these pairs, like the Aussie Kiwi, were main movers, and I provided some amazing opportunities. Euro Kiwi also started its first move, and we will talk about it a lot. And so did the New Zealandian dollar, that really provided some nice move down after the cash rate decision there, and all the pairs that involved in these two. So the biggest question would be now, what's coming next? Now this week, the main movers should be. Um, I do expect actually the moves to start on the second part of the week, as this week the market is waiting for the FOMC. That will be the main event for us. And if we take a look here, it starts with GDP in China tomorrow. CPI, sorry, in sorry, GDP in Japan, CPI in China. Then we have the GDP in Euro, German prelim, and then we have CPI in Britain and PPI in the US. All these affect the future of the rate, cash rate in these countries. That's why it's going to be a very, very important week to see where the wind is blowing. And then on Tuesday, the Fed has its speech continuing on Wednesday to testify in front of the community and basically show what's coming. And the most important thing that the investors and the traders will try to catch from this speech would be, of course, will the Fed be able to continue its new policy and increase the rates further? It's all about that. And the way it looks right now, there are a very, very good chance that the dollar will actually continue to gain strength, at least on the short coming period. So, very interesting days are coming for sure. It continues with um, building permits and Philly Fed Manufacturing Index in Thursday, and basically that's all. That's the fundamental mix. So as I said, I do expect the moves to be on the second part of the week. I do expect the dollar pairs, all the dollar pairs, to be involved, and I would not be surprised if also the yen pairs would provide great opportunities, as when everything is related to the Fed, the the yen pairs react very, very fast. So that's from the fundamental view. Now let's talk about business. Where do we make our profits from, right? So let's take a look here on this New Zealandian dollar, and we talked about this pair. We stuck in this range. So basically, I would continue looking for the sell opportunities as long as the top hold. On the 4-hour chart, just want to remind you quickly where it all happened from. It all came from this special cycle we've had. The divergence was building for a long time. All these periods starting from here, we were looking for the sell opportunities. We were waiting for the convergence to build, and for the first time it actually built from the top of the range. It was the time that the move happened down. Currently, we don't have any divergence here. That's why I would expect that to continue. Complete this kind of special cycle here. For those of you who count Elliot's, of course, count this potential way. I would expect some pullback right after that, and I would not be surprised at all for further continuation. For those of you who have the shorts, keep holding them. No change in the view. Those of you who are not, that would be the exact setup I would be looking to trade. Get this move down, get the retracing 2 waves back to this area approximately, and start building up the next sell positions. Or to make it very simple, as long as the last high here holds, we are after the sell opportunity. Now, if we take a look on the statistics, just want to remind you, okay? You see this top, guys, right? Now, we said, if you remember, that we expect the top to happen. Actually, we had it from the beginning of the previous month, from here, third and fourth, right? So we got it. The spike happened on the 7th, but the top was created exactly here on the 3rd. Right from there, false break to the upside, that would happen, and then the down move happened. Again, the power of the statistics. We knew that we are going to deal only with a sell opportunity. So now let's take a look on this view. Like we are now around this area, right? Bottom of this channel. We have this beautiful supportive zone. So we do expect this pullback, some continuation, and further down move. On the 4-hour chart, that's exactly what we would expect as well. If we do get this kind of move, we're going back to this area, which is this channel, and we're going to look for the resale opportunities. As long as, and that's simple, this top holds. As long as this top holds, right? So basically, we will want to get every 2 wave up, start to look here for the sell opportunities. How do we look for sell opportunities? It's simple. False breaks, right? Let's go with this. False break on the lower time frame, lower lows, and move down. This would be the false break. Lower lows to regain the bearish momentum, pull back and sell. That's the main thing. The other alternative, of course, if we get 2 waves, here we will get some trend line, and we're gonna break the trend line and continue move down. Okay, that's the view. Again, as long as the last stop holds, very important to mention. Aussie dollar is the only one that's still potentially going to create new highs. Now, here is the thing. If you take a look on the Aussie dollar, this is the only one that is moving clearly on top of the range now. And that's, if you remember what we said that after it didn't hold what we wanted, let's try to give it a chance to take us towards 0.78. And I would still be really honored to get it there, because this is continuing divergence with 4 tops. So if we can get something like this, and this would be just a dream. Why? Because continuing divergence that blocked with 4 straight tops or bottoms is the most powerful continuing divergence. And that's why if we really can get this push, get ready for the sells. Oh, how strong and beautiful they should be right there. So currently, I would play very, very carefully with shorting. Okay? And if we do get these highs, I would definitely be looking to do that. Okay, weekly chart, the top of the potential range and bend to bend, right? Daily chart with the cycling itself and the top of the range and the divergence really cannot be better. In terms of the 4-hour chart, we don't have any false break yet. The only false break for us would be if we break below this, if we close below this high. Currently, I would not be rushing to do any steps, but, and here comes the very important but, we will have a lot of news this week from Japan and China, the two that could affect the Australian pairs as well. We have this trend line. If we go below this trend line, I would start to be with a careful view here, because that might be this kind of movement as well. So if we place ourselves below the trend line and hold there, come to retest in 2 waves, boom, holding and coming to retest in 2 waves, and then break further, that would be a potential sell opportunity. Now, watching on the Aussie dollar, it has the next important sell action zone right here, the levels we want. But on the same time, it's currently in the short term has the problematic zone as well, and that's why I believe that's why it requires some careful view here. In terms of statistics, we have the 11s, 4, 15, 17, 12, all that belong to the top. That's the period we are dealing with right now. If we are lucky enough to get this spike to the upside, to above 0.77, closer to 0.78, the closer the better. Get ready for monster sell. From there, I would really be looking for sell opportunities. Now let's talk about the majors. Euro dollar. Euro dollar did a beautiful move down, completing triple cycle down, and basically, potentially, bottoming here. Soon I believe it will bottom and start the correction, unless it already did that. And I would not be surprised if we will start to find the bottom here and climb. Climb maybe even for new high. Since we got a triple cycle on the 4-hour chart, we got a correction. We might start to look for these bottoms and roll forward. We had 2 false breaks in a row, which means this is our divergence. Now we are on the bottom of this area, which is potential range as well. On the 1-hour chart, we start to get potential false break, right? We also have a false break on the trend line. Looks good, behaves well. We might still get lower lows. Currently, we don't have any retrace at the upside to create some bullish momentum. So we need to see how it continues from here. One more spike lower would be, of course, ideal combination and situation for us. Looking for the buys right there. In terms of the statistics for the euro dollar, we would want to get the bottom, and you can see the numbers 12, 13, and 16. Very, very powerful date. We would want to get it here and start looking for the buys. In terms of levels, the idea would be if we can get it slightly lower, like 106 and lower. This level is relevant for both daily and a 4-hour chart. From there, get ready for possible longs. If we can get there, it will be really good one to look for longs. Pound dollar, last week did exactly what we wanted. We're still dancing in this range. Now make it very, very simple. As long as we do hold above the last low that was created on the previous week here, we should be looking for the possible continuation inside this range. Now on the 1-hour chart, we are looking for this high to be broken in order to provide us buy opportunities. So we want to get it high here, 2 waves down, marking this kind of trend line, breaking and trying to climb higher with that momentum. Dollar yen. Well, dollar yen is a mystery, to be honest, because from one side it looks like it had the bottom. From the other side, there is a monster trend line awaiting there. So I would not be surprised at all to get one more push down towards 110 and then start to fly it up. So personally, at this point, I have no real view. Sorry, guys. I know many of you asked me about the dollar yen, but seriously, I don't. What I can say is that as long as the last low holds, as long as this low holds, I would be looking for these setups. If we get two waves correction and a breakout, I would be looking to go long here versus this bottom. But if we just continue straight down here, I would let it go and be looking for again for actions around 110. Currently, as I said, 2 waves down, I would be looking for possible buys. That could be also on a 1-hour chart, something like that. Okay, something like that, with a bullish divergence, of course, to form. I would be looking for this trend line, for example, breakout, and then buys. Small risk, great potential reward, because if we climb higher, we go all the way to the previous top, that's around 118, or at least to the gap area that we have on this stage around 115. So it's again, risk reward is in our favor in that case. And if you just keep going lower, let it. Don't try to catch the falling knife. It could be painful, isn't it? So I would be very careful with the dollar yen. As I said, we have the FOMC as well, and that's one of the pairs that are getting affected mainly. So careful on that stage, but and look for buys as long as the top holds, the bottom holds. If it doesn't hold, then we are looking for the 110 area. In terms of the statistical bottoms, if we are looking here, there is a pretty nice chance that the bottom was created. 7, 8. We have 8 on the top of the dates here, right? So good chance we had a bottom, and that's why I believe as long as it holds, look for the buys. Look to continue with the buys. In terms of levels, dollar yen has very nice supportive areas here. And if we get there in 2 waves, we can start to look for what I just suggested. Euro yen also, one more push lower would be just ideal, but there is a good chance that this double bottom also finished its move. Anyway, currently I don't see any action. I would be looking for some possible action around 118 or lower if we can get there. And that could be also very nice move on the weekly. And saying that, I believe that since this 4-hour chart range was broken, that was the range it was moving inside for a long time, and it broke it, right? Gaining a very nice momentum. So I would go risky here and say that I would be looking for sales on a short term, of course, but I would be looking for this kind of action here: 2 waves, breakout, and continuation. Ideally, towards the 114 or so. If we put the cycles there, right, after the breakouts, we have the 161 there around 118, and we could get some kind of triple cycle completing there as well. And that's why, as long as the top holds, I would be looking for smaller retraces and possible continuation sell. So again, it's on the short term with some kind of risk here, remembering that the FOMC is the time that affects on the yen pairs. Pound yen, I will be looking the vice versa for longs, and here is why. Weekly cycle had for us special cycle with bullish divergence. So I would expect this, or at least this. So for me, as long as the bottom holds, long it is. 4-hour chart had for us, so it's 4-hour chart, double cycle down correction. 1-hour chart had for us the convergence idea, which we got in this area right here. And so for me, it's basically longs, and I would be looking for the possible longs here. How? This way, only this way. 2 waves down, breakout, and only then try the longs. If the bottom here would not be respected, game over. We are back to neutral mode, looking for lower levels and possible buys, but on lower zones. As for now, that's my view and plan. So the same basically remain with all the yen pairs. New Zealandian is the only one I remain short in my view. Nothing changed there. According to the weekly cycle, we're still dancing in around this range. I've been talking about this pair too many times on my previous weekly forecast, so you guys remember what it is all about. Every 2 waves up, we are after sales. Every range, we are after sales. And on the 1-hour chart, we got these 2 waves up, which provided again this sell during the last day of the week. And now for the yen pairs, let's keep going and drilling forward. Dollar Canadian doing nothing, and this is a good time to remind and say, guys, do not force that. It's not clear, with some bearish pressure for the longer run. Every 2 waves up, look for sales, like here, like we got in this situation here. It's really tricky to try to do anything. If you just look at it, we're stuck in the range here. And here is a question for you guys. Do you really want to try be hero inside the range? It's narrow range, right? It's not a big range like daily or weekly. It's narrow range. Do you really want to try and be hero here? Or you want to stick to the better opportunities? I know I'm after a second option. This is why I just show you that, just to say at this stage, just keep. Okay? Of course, we will be following that on a daily basis. I will update you on the daily forecasts, right? The daily videos I create for you guys. So, yeah, it's in the membership, of course, but still on a daily basis. we will see if it really provides some good opportunities, and if not, just let it go. So many better opportunities are coming there. Oh, the Kiwi, here we go. Oh, the Kiwi. Well, you guys heard me too many times in the past. Buy, 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 buy. And we are after buys only. We got this bomb up. Finally. Those of you who are in investments from long time and long levels, longer, lower levels, as we've been talking about, this pair, just hold it. You can really move your stop to zero and reduce the risk from this investment, but let this attempt to go. This pair is currently dancing around the 161.8, which means I believe on a short term we should get some kind of correction, which after I believe we should go and looking for the buys. And here is why the daily chart had false break for us, and now gaining the momentum for us was convergence. Every drop should be continuation further to the upside. Euro owes the Kiwi. So in terms of potential tops to look at on the short term, we had 14, 11, 14, and 16. So this week we could face with short term retrace and then further continuation. Now let's quickly go over the Euro Aussie, the pair that I love maybe the most because it's coming to some monster levels. I wanted actually to deal with 138.50, but it looks like there is a chance that this pair is going to provide us some kind of situation like this. Is it doable? Yeah, it is. And that could be further down. Now, this pair had false breaks on the top, false breaks on the bottom here. And this is why we keep that idea as a ranging cycle. That's a monster range. We will build a monster bottom here and fly. But as I did mention on the previous week, I will remind it on this week as well. This is a weekly and a monthly cycle, which means that's going to take time. If during the week you deal with one buy opportunity that didn't work out, do not freak. That's normal because this is long-term cycle. It will work, only question of time. And this time, basically, that's what it gives us, guys. Take a look. If we measure this cycle, what do we get? We get 161.8, slightly lower. If we measure this cycle, what do we get? Same zone, right? And if we measure this cycle, what do we get? And if we measure the last cycle, what do we get? Bottom line is there is great chance that the current zone will hold, and there is even greater chance that we will go further lower to around 134, 132, maybe even slightly lower, build up a monster bottom and fly for hundreds or thousands of pips. Bottom line, we could start looking to get involved, but the best way to wait for that would be let it at least create for us some kind of convergence, which means higher highs, retracing to, and breakouts. If it does, we can start looking for the buys. If it does not, and just keep making these lows, let it go. It could provide us some amazing opportunity further on. And that's why I say it's not about forcing to be in. It's about timing, passions and timing. Wait for that thing to happen. It will happen. It will happen. Read my lips. Just patience is required here. That's the game of patience. Euro Kiwi alternatively provided a false break, something that the Euro Aussie did not, and a weekly time frame as well, which means we are after buys. Now on a daily chart, this is the level we need to break in order to get this scenario activated. So we want to go above this high. After that, we are looking to pull back. And with the breakouts, we are after long-term longs, very, very long-term longs. As we talk about also weekly chart here, with false break on the bottom and false break on the top here, which provides for us this range. And we are now on the bottom of the range, so this move up is coming. And it's only a question of time when exactly it will hit. And it will. So we need to get this high broken, and this is 148.60. Once we go above, we can talk about the further continuation after the retraces. Very important. Gold, pound pairs. Pound Canadian, we know we are looking only after buys. Pound CAD is currently in the range, so on the bottom of the range, I would be looking for possible buys again. If we just break through and let it keep going, time to let it go and look for better opportunities. Pound Aussie, same story. So far, dancing, correcting in second wave. If we measure the entire move here, we will figure out that 61.8 is right on the bottom. And if we measure this move, we will figure out that 61.8 is right on the bottom. This is the zone of a potential action. Okay? How do we actually going to act in this area? We will need to get the move here, false break. It might be false break of the trend line, right? And higher highs, retrace, and continuation. Watching on the bottoms for these pairs, this pair we have 14, which is coming now, 11, 12, 14. If we go through, which definitely could happen, we all the way down to 19, 22nd, 23rd, basically the last part of the month. Keep eyes on this pair. Starts to be ultra interesting opportunity, really amazing one. New Zealand and Kiwi did exactly as what we talked about last week. Currently creating for us these lower lows, which means we are looking after two ways retraces and sell. It has for us the special cycle here. So once it creates for us retrace in two waves, we are looking for continuation further down. Gold and silver, well, I would be very, very careful here because gold could complete that duplication, which means 1260, 1270, and this is time to be careful, as simple as it sounds. And to be honest, I don't have a view here currently. I'm not quite buying this fake breakout on the last move, on the last week, and I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, if we would get here two waves and breakout, we might try the short-term sell. But most chances that we will just continue forward. And if we will, 1260, 1270 would be the zone to go for possible sells, not before. So very, very careful here. I know it's tempting. I know it's seducing. Be careful. That's all I'm saying here. Same with silver. Provided false break and still has difficulties to create the momentum, which means most likely it's building up the second leg up. And if it could get complete itself above the 1800, this would be our level. Okay? To look for possible sells. If it just keep going further, we have the next level, and this would be above 19, and then it's different story because it will be two false break on the bottom, one false break on the top, and from there, of course, we're going to get short-term correction and probably further continuation up after that. So very, very, very careful with the short, despite it's very tempting. Okay, don't force. False break enough. False break is not enough. False break alone, it's not enough. We need convergence, which means false break to firm and complete on the top, like here, but We need lower lows for momentum, and we can see currently we have only higher lows. They all go higher, so no need to be heroes and no need to force the button. I know it's tempting, it really is, it really is, and this is exactly where normally the traps sorry, the traps exist. This is exactly the place, okay, when it looks so good, which in reality is so good to be true. So be very, very careful, guys. And talking about the indices, currently it does exactly as planned. We are getting closer to 2400, and just want to remind you, it looks tempting. Again, looks very tempting, but we need what? We need false breaks, first of all, to complete with convergences, and we didn't have it. We need false break and lower lows. We don't have it. Now on the 4-hour chart, we got the triple cycle, 1, 2, 3, and we have one special building up here. So on the short term, we might be looking for some kind of false break here or here on the coming activity, especially with the after the FOMC, right? But do not rush. Do not rush. We are not about being heroes, we are about making money. It's not about how many good calls you are making or predicting. Our goal is not to predict, our goal is to trade and make money. Remember that, guys. It's very, very easy to fall into this definition. Who am I, analyst or trader? Everyone goes through that. Now, if you're a good analyst, go to work for a company. Many companies are looking for good analysts. But if you are a good trader or you want to be a good trader, then you have to act right, not predict right. And this is the difference, guys. Predict right, not too difficult. Not too difficult. You learn the principles, you can do that. To make money from that, that's where the real art is. And that's where the art of timing comes in. Because just ask yourself this question, my friend. How many times it happened to you? Where you just pressed the button because it looked so tempting without waiting for all the confirmations required. You hear me so many times talking about false breaks and convergence, by creating lower lows or higher highs for momentum. How many times it happened to you that it just looked too good, I'm gonna try? Think about it and be honest for yourself with the answer. And now think about the answer. If your answer is too many times and you are smiling now, maybe even laughing, it's because you know this is truth. It's all about timing. Remember that. Okay? And this is why I make these videos for you guys, just not to tell you where from, but also when from and what we should have in order to make this attack. That would be all. Thank you for your watching, guys. I wish you a wonderful week to come. If you like the video, please hit the like button, leave your feedback and comments. You know that's what keeps me motivated to keep working for you and create these materials for you guys. Ideally helping you and giving you some ideas how to make money and some trades, where to trade and where to focus. So that's my goal anyway. So I hope I deliver my goal and my expectations. And as I said, if you like that, please hit the like, share, leave your feedback, comment, questions, very welcome, of course. Share it with everyone who you believe can have any benefit or advantage by watching that. And again, thank you for your time. I'll see you on a daily forecast, of course, those of you who are registered. And on next week as well. Thanks again. All the best. Yours for your success, Vladimir Ribakov.